imagine being separated from your family for 22 years? Not by your own design, but because all of your brothers, and by the way, you have 11 of them, can you imagine that too? This is the kind of thing that would make family trips to Disneyland require a second mortgage. All of your brothers were jealous of you. Sure, you used to swagger pretentiously with your fancy coat and your dreams of them starring as stars, bowing down before you. It's the kind of thing that makes your siblings hide the biscuits at brunch, assuring you there aren't any more when you ask for another. You should be content with the leftover broccoli and maybe half a butter pat. I'm sure you told a story of how you dreamed of a future where servants brought you all the biscuits in the world, but all it accomplished was fueling the fire of the fraternal gang. You can see how it came to this. But fast forward 22 years, they're standing right in front of you. It's been so long, they don't recognize you. The scars from the pit no longer visible. You've got a completely different set of clothes. And is that Egyptian eyeliner you're wearing? They never could have imagined you hobnobbing with Pharaoh. And they're hungry, and they grovel. Frankly, you're eating this up. I bet you popped a steaming hot Egyptian biscuit into your mouth as they made their case. It doesn't say that in the text, but the reality is it's possible none of this happened anyway, so feel free to embellish from your own memory. That's how we're supposed to think of it, not as history, but as memory. I'll tell you what I remember. Once upon a time, I didn't see my father for 30 years. This is no embellishment. I remember leaving Florida in 1970-something. I was thrown into the pit of central New York, finally made a name for myself in Southern California, had years of grain in my storage locker, didn't need anything from anyone. So I returned to the Holy Land of Southern Florida, wandered into the place that I was shown, and there he was, my father, like Charles Atlas, showing anyone who would listen how to find their outer strength. When he first saw me, he pulled a Joseph, didn't want to reveal himself to me. But 30 years of not preparing for this moment softened both our hearts, and pretty soon we were having Italian food. The truth of who we were shared over vegetarian pasta dishes, hot rolls, and like Jacob and Joseph, the ending of a decades-long silence. We had drawn near. I flew back to my promised land, Los Angeles, but the phone lines have stayed open. Holiday and birthday gifts now fly in both directions. The past isn't even the past. Can you imagine not seeing your family for 22 years? I can, plus 8 more. It's a gap of biblical proportions. It's a gap that I promise you will never happen again.